A fleet of ships raced towards a wandering island, all flying different flags from different places with people of different ancestries upon them, but all driven by the same purpose, to forge their story. The smell of salt and sea air fills your lungs as the crashing waves of the Zazarine Sea break against the dozens of vessels approaching the island of Malwick. It was not but 3 months ago that the missives started arriving in royal halls, posters on bars, carvings into trees, a message cast across the entirety of Atramen, calling for the bold and the brave to answer that of a legend thought lost to time. And now, in the eve of autumn's crest, the setting sun cast its fiery tones across the rolling canopy and spiking peaks of Malwick, making the oranges and reds of the fall leaves glow like a flare beckoning the ships in this direction. Tomorrow is the reckoning of a new fable of Atramen, a land that was crafted by the hands of the Inkpot gods, scribed into existence and painted into permanence, has already had its fair share of tales and legends. So what reason does the writer of these missives have for reforging the order of the old dragon riders? This is another thing that binds the individuals who seek the approaching island. From the royals hoping to secure their family's place in the new order to the farmhand looking to author a new life, all who approach brim with anticipation of what lies ahead. And some brim with the anticipation of a feeling that comes right before the jump, as far above the rolling seas, sailing through the lower wisps of clouds, sails, and airship. Floating on the giant balloons, this renovated craft drifts lazily through a fiery ocean of its own. Hanging from the hull, a large metal ring attached to a braided rope. And hanging from the ring is a jester. Lo, would you please describe yourself and what you're feeling?
Yeah, absolutely. So Lo is a human adorned in Harlequin gear, flowing sleeves and tattoos of vines wrap around them. They have this joyful, mischievous grin that seems to linger on their face in all moments of the day. Their hair wraps around and up is this long strands of blonde and just gets tucked under this wavering crown of just beads and bells that seem to ring. Being out on the ocean, you notice that they have this freeing motion in their arms as they are just casting their arms through the air and just feeling the new adventure that is ahead. They are thin and their clothes fit them well enough because they're used to climbing and jumping around, and the movement that they need is assessed by the gear that they wear. They often have makeup on, that of a harlequin with the dots and the added accessories to the face. Yeah, they look wild and ambitious at this new moment.
Amazing. As you sway back and forth on the ring underneath the ship, below you is the vast fleet of boats that are approaching the same destination that you are. You will arrive by the end of nightfall, by the end of sunset and the true beginning of nightfall. You sway back and forth, the wind whispering through your hair. How do you wish to make your descent to the island?
Looking back at the crew of this ship, their family that they have lived with, these jugglers and these strong men on this massive ship that is a traveling carnival. There are balloons and all sorts of celebratory actions that seem to have gone from the evening before, that is a send-off to Lo, this well-known Harlequin, and this band of traveling players. And as they look out and waver through and feel the absence of the lingering wine in their system, they tiptoe onto the edge, and as they're so used to walking that fine line of the railing, they wave off and then drop, leaning back and fall off of the ship and just begin just flying down as quickly as they possibly can. And in a brief moment, they hold their hands together and then push out, and all of their fingers turn into small claws as they suddenly turn into a squirrel that has these extended skin flaps as they fly down as a flying squirrel and cascade themselves upon the wind. So I will mark a stress because I am wild shaping into a flying squirrel, as everything on their pack just combines into them, and they feel free in this moment as they look out at all the other ships, all these people with hopes and dreams, and just clutching onto a necklace that dangles around them, around their neck, that even is the only thing that doesn't seem to change with them, as they just fly down.
The wind catches the membrane between your limbs as you balance on the rising airflow and kind of try to ride and make it as find the most fun you possibly can on your way down, experiencing something that hardly anyone else gets to experience. Now, with your descent, are you aiming to land on the island, or do you wish to land on one of the boats?
Oh man, great question. I think that landing on one of the ships would be more fun, because in all this traveling and meeting people throughout the world, Lo is extremely curious about where people come from. So I think still in squirrel form, they would try to land on a ship and just, look around, and if anything is loose out of anyone's pockets, just possibly take it, and then just find their way moving further onto the next ship and onto the next one, gathering information and fulfilling their very ambitious, curious mind.
All right, make a finesse roll for me. So roll both your d12s and tell me if it's with hope or not. First roll of the campaign. First roll of the campaign.
First roll.
So that is an 8 on the hope die and a 3 on the fear die. So that is a total of 11 with hope. Plus my finesse. Plus 1, so it's a 12.
Oh, all right.
With hope.
Gliding down, you somersault onto the railing of this ship that you saw coming from the east and crackling with this electric energy. A dim blue light glows around the blackened wood craft, emitting from a glass dome located in the center of the main deck. Heavy brass support beams embossed in gold spider out from the dome, bringing this energy across the entirety of the ship and powering 2 giant paddle wheels on either side. You land on the rail and kind of hold on, skitter down, try to sneak into some pockets. You get another handful of gold for your troubles. And as you kind of sit and look at your new acquired treasure, you look up, and standing against the railing about 20 feet far distance from you, you see a man looking towards the island that you're all approaching, sitting in as he leans against the wall. His long white coat kind of billows out. He has pink skin that kind of glows in the shaded area he's in. Variedawnt, would you please describe yourself and how you're feeling?
All right, so shaded area. It's what time of day is it?
It is sunset. So the
Okay.
sun is probably like mid-set, so everything is cast in the fiery reds and deep purples of sunset. The sky itself is fairly clear. It is the day before autumn's crest.
Okay.
So the day before the fall season really begins. So it's a little bit more brisk, but the sky is clear. There's little wisps of clouds. There's nothing too grand covering the sky, and just from miles around, it's open ocean except for the one island in front of you.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, I missed a little bit of description. I was checking a bunch of stuff.
No, you're good.
So, Variedawnt is probably just reading a book, kind of keeping to himself. He's just feeling a little tired. It's probably just ready to get off of this boat. I imagine it's been a couple days. Or travel.
Yeah, to get from... You've been on the boat for a couple days. Yes, you're coming from Call. You have the shortest ride.
Okay.
But still a couple days.
He's probably, just perpetually tired, and just wanting to get off of the boat and just stretch his legs. And I realized I should give a description.
Mhm.
So I am playing a fungrel, so a little mushroom guy. Average human height, pink skin. That is bioluminescent, so in shaded areas or in the dark, I glow a fluorescent pink. I keep almost wanting to say purple, over pink. The mushroom hat is more sculpted like a helmet with like little bits of pieces like broken up, so it's like a layered helmet. And that is always the bioluminescent pink. Tired eyes, kind of an older gentleman. Kind of a nice... It would have been a nice coat like 100, 200 years ago, but I've kept it around and it's kind of raggedy, but we love it anyway. I'm drawing a blank on how you would describe that thing. Kind of like a Victorian style cloak, white with yellow trimming. Kind of almost a steampunk tinkerer aesthetic to him, and he's got like thick bracelets with chains going into rings, and his arms and hands are very heavily tattooed in like line art. That's the best way I could describe it. I think that's it for a description.
You lean against the wall and look out at the island towards you, knowing that, or hoping that, a familiar face could be on the island ahead. Not having anything confirmed, just relying on rumors. You see at the forefront of this fleet, a ship with wood worn by ice and sleet. Hardy gray beams skip across an uneasy sea with warming colors of auburns and yellows painted in slowly spiraling designs across its prow, as a bright red sail pulls it excitedly forwards. The ship, like most traveling for this purpose, brimming with hopefuls, one of which we find leaning against a banister that borders the bow of the ship. Oriana, would you please describe yourself and what you're feeling?
Sure. So Oriana is a Qatari, so she is a cat person. She's looks essentially like an orange tabby. She has white on her feet and her hands and the tip of her tail. She's rather small, just right around 4 feet or so. So she's leaning against the rail, but it's kind of like looking up over the rail a little bit, peeking out, trying to see what's going on. Her ears are in constant motion, listening, catching all of the sounds of the ship. Um, she is comfortable on the ship. She's been on ships a lot, but being this far away from home is quite unique experience for her. And she is wearing lots of like layered flowing clothes with a big coat that has a slit in the back for her tail, and lots of belts with trinkets and things hanging off, little potion bottles, and she has a book, like a book holster almost, where a book that is very important to her that she keeps next to her all the time. Um, and yeah, that's what she looks like. Um, she has glasses kind of perched precariously on the top of her head, that she keeps checking to make sure she hasn't lost them yet. Um, and she's excited. She's very much looking forward to what's gonna happen, who she's gonna meet, what information she's gonna find out, and is looking forward to learning new things.
Hmm. The island ahead. When finding the missives, they inspired hope and adventure in a slew of people, from common to noble, old to young. You can look around you on this ship and see that even from Estos, which is fairly recluse in its tradings, and they keep to themselves a lot based on the harshness of the ice that encases their land. The ship is brimming. Just 20, 30, 40 hopefuls on this ship, all finding places to hide, trying to finding places to relax, ready themselves, and that same hopeful look is cast across all of their glances. The ship you are on is a passenger vessel known as the Camellia, ported from the capital city of Estos to Stellia. Having a humble lodging situation, this craft is kitted out with a basic mess hall and a viewing deck. Eventually, as you wander ever closer to this wandering island, you make your way to the lower decks where your room resides, and you pass by a mess hall where you can hear the ship's cook ending his description of his offerings to an infernus hosting a ponderous look. Belle, would you please describe yourself and what you're feeling?
All right. So what you would see is about a 5'8", 5'9" tan infernus, but it does not seem like they are going to stop growing anytime soon. You would notice that they have some brown to honey blonde ombre hair. There's braids all throughout it with little charms and trinkets all around that seem to be homemade and delicate. They have lovely black-brown horns on their head with roses peeking out of it. The rest of the outfit looks very much of a traveler, something that could be kind of homemade: white linen shirt, a brown corset that you see has little gears seem purposely glued on it. They have these brown pants with an embroidered flower pattern on the side of their thigh. Also on their thigh is a whip, as well as a holster that holds a baking rolling pin with designs on it, which we will get to at another point. But I think the main thing that stands out, besides the baby blue eyes and little hints of brown freckles on their face that seem to already be fading away as they age, the only thing that seems to be of real value on their person is a gold bracelet, cuff, ring, jewelry piece that they have. It seems to be made out of gold purely, with little flower designs as well as little beads of turquoise and bluestone all throughout that they hold very close to them. And I think as they're looking, kind of hearing what the cook was talking about their meals and what they're planning for, I think they're smiling and kind of pondering to themselves. Yeah, that does sound a lot better than what we used to make back over at our household.
What was that, dear?
Oh, nothing. Just it smells really, really good. Is it a recipe you've been working on, or is it just?
We just kind of heat everything up here. We have a magic furnace that it burns so cold it's hot. So it's all just kind of pre-packaged here on the boat. It makes it a lot easier.
Wow, that would have been something to use back at home. Anyways, I don't mean to keep you from your cooking and all that stuff, but I thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Of course. But don't leave empty-handed. And he hands you just this. It's past its prime muffin. It's the end of the day. And reheated muffins don't hold up that well, so it's a little hard, but with your snack in hand, you explore the rest of the ship. Eventually, in your wanderings, you make your way to the viewing deck. A long and wide deck that hosts the main sail in its center. Looking to port, you noticed a row of benches where cannons would be on a normal trade vessel, facing out towards the sea. It's there, amongst the dancing fire sprites of the reflecting setting sun, that you see a breathtaking sight. From the north, a bit further behind you, you see what looks to be a glistening fireball floating across the water, a pillar of billowing smoke that trails behind it, burning an ashen white. As your eyes adjust, you make out two large wing shapes that lazily curve off of the boat's prow. And you realize the fireball you saw originally is actually a boat made completely of glass. The two pillars of smoke disappearing into the teal, blown glass wings where a vibrant glow can be seen. Make a knowledge roll for me.
All right, alrighty. And, because it's first session, I think we're going to do something special. I made my own custom dice tray
Yeah.
for Belle Marwood. So I'm going to roll it in this. And you said it was knowledge?
Knowledge, yes.
Okay.
And then tell me if it's with hope or not. And Lo, did you mark down that you got a hope from your successful roll?
I didn't. I'll do that now.
Okay. All right. Knowledge. Oh, okay. So that is a 10 with hope. I got a 6 on the hope and I got a 4 on the fear.
Nice. So take your hope.
Hey.
A 10 with hope. You come from small town Estos, one of the satellite islands that taking a trip to the capital city is a special event, and also the farthest you really go from home. So out here, miles and miles and miles away, looking at a blown glass vase type thing floating across the water. You've barely left home and the world is already so much bigger than you could have ever imagined. As you look at it more and realize that you don't quite know where it's from, but you remember tales of Vaughn and how they were masters of crafting glass into almost unbreakable abilities, and you guess that this is a Vonian scooter, an amalgamation of glass and metal powered by 2 fire-based engines. As you start to make out more of the vessel, you catch sight of something small flying to the top of one of the wings and sit. Not the right shape for any seabird of the area, and a bit too large. Razz, would you please describe yourself and what you're feeling?
So, sitting on top of this strange glass winged vessel, see a very small in stature. If you had to put a tape measure to it, I'd say approximately 17 inches. Though draped along her back in the style of a red atlas moth, wings slightly blow in the breeze. Her very fluffy, curled, pure white hair, which extends to a ring along her neck, little puffs at her wrists, as well as her ankles. Her pure white eyes gaze out into the sea, pondering exactly what and who she may find, for she's heard many tales of the great dragon riders in the past. The reality is a brand new adventure, one she is very excited for. This is Razz, and with a small bark, she looks down, and on the deck of the ship, you see a small little corgi fellow, kitted in leather armor, which you would note that he is quite a pretty boy. This is Razz's traveling companion, who you will come to know as Rupestress.
So, Razz and Rupestress, with you sitting up on top of this tall blown glass wing that holds the exhaust of one of the two fire engines, and Rupestis kind of walking back and forth at the base about 5 feet below you. Your ship is in the back of this fleet, having the farthest to travel, skirting around Estos and towards the strait between the lower end of Vaughn and the city of Drayakal, kind of triangulated between Estos, Drayakal, and Vaughn. You see the wandering island, once thought lost to stories and fables, now apparently here, and even stranger, a hero, a knight, that had also thought to have been lost, resides on it and has built a school. Your brains dreams of what could lie ahead, and if we were still looking through the eyes of a falling harlequin, the ship of Estos, while brimming with crew and passengers, seems to oddly enough be the least packed. It coming from one of the smallest nations that exist. But there is one more there's one more traveler of note in this story. On the same ship as Belle and Oriana waits a tall, standing orc, his rust-toned skin matching the dwindling color of the early night sky. Hugrokk, could you please describe yourself and what you'll feel?
So as was mentioned, Hugrokk is about 6'7", rust-colored skin, wears form-fitting but still kind of loose clothes since he's a warrior and needs to move around. He's got long black hair, put in a braid about a third of the way down his back. Sides of his head are shaved. He's got a long sword strapped to his hip, a long bow on his back, and with his dark red eyes and black pupils, you'll see with this somewhat 1,000-yard stare, he's holding on to another sword, but it's broken. It's just the sword hilt itself. And what he's thinking in this moment is he's hoping that he can learn to be and do better at the academy and make up for past mistakes.
You sit kind of back a bit from the main surge that is up against the prow of the boat, trying to look and catch as much as they can about the island. Your sight cuts through and are focused in. All players now set on their marks. You all arrive to the wandering island of Malwick and into the main harbor of the southern shore. A camp has been set in place for all the hopefuls to stay for the night. Each tent is a simple auburn-colored cloth with a night's worth of supplies, a cot, and a chest. Sitting atop the chest is a letter, sealed in red wax with the insignia of a dragon whose tail descends into a swirling triquetra. Inside reads a simple message. See you at the top of the westernmost cliff at sunrise. Yours, Gran Cola Tanan. And night falls. But not before it does. But before it does, the night is, in fact, yours. The camp is alive with activity, and it seems there is drinking and song and, well, the sounds of combat. Is there anything you would like to participate in or do before you turn in for the night? Or would you rather be well rested for tomorrow?
Oh man, choices. Anybody want to go first? Or
This will be good practice for
Hugrok's
combat
not-
when you have to decide when you go first.
oh god, that's right.
There is no initiative in Daggerheart.
Dun dun dun.
Well, in that case, Hugrok's not feeling very sociable, so he's just going to go to sleep.
All right.
Oh.
Hugrokk tucks in to the cot. It's standard fare, just two X's of wood holding up a very simple canvas bottom to hold you off the ground. You'll get a good sleep, but you'll wake up on time. What is everyone else doing?
Can I ask how far the West Peak looks?
The West Peak, you can see it from here. It seems as if this beach that you're on has about 30 feet of sand and then a 40-foot stretch of grass, and that's kind of what the camp is on. And then a wood line at the end of that 40-foot stretch of grass. Looking past and up, you see on the western side of the island, the ground slowly climbs until it is a cliff face that is towering above the rest of the forest that kind of wraps around it to the western front. To the east, you can see towering mountain peaks. This island, as you land on it, you can feel that something's odd. It doesn't feel like normal ground. The terrain is... Hydrate. The terrain is...
Here we go. It's hydrated.
Is hydrated. It's wet. No. Moist? That's not better.
I mean, it is a beach.
But
Very true.
The terrain is nonsensical. Sprawling forests, towering peaks, cliff faces, beaches.
Alright.
It's as if someone found an island and just decided to terraform it to their own whims. Which, if any of you would like to make a knowledge check, a knowledge roll, yes, a knowledge roll, as I look to see what the skills in the game are.
For
I would,
sure.
please. Even though I
And
don't
Make a
then I
knowledge
have
roll if
a-
you so wish.
I do have a question about that because I
Yes.
do have as a where is it? I've lost it. Advantage on rolls that involve history, culture, or politics of a prominent person or place. Would I have advantage on this?
Yes, you
because
would.
it's
So add a
so-
d6 to your roll.
Sweet.
For those of you who don't know, in Daggerheart, advantage works by you add a d6. And same thing with disadvantage, you would subtract a d6 from the roll. So, who all is rolling for this? Wondrous. Razz, what did you get?
I rolled a 19 with hope.
All right, mark your hope.
Damn.
Belle, what did you get?
I also rolled a 19 with hope.
Mark your hope.
Double damn.
We're gonna be best of friends.
Variedawnt,
I
roll.
hope
What did you
so.
roll?
I hope so.
I rolled a 9. No
9
2, just 9 with
Oh.
fear.
with
Oh, no.
fear. Oh, you don't say. Well then, let me
Don't
just
say that. Don't say that,
Let's start.
Tara. Don't say that.
let me just
we're
do this real quick. Add another fear to my fear markers. And Oriana, what did you roll?
I got a 15 with hope.
15 with hope, so mark your hope. Those of you who rolled a 19, this island both of you would have learned this information from stories told, word of mouth, plays, old books in dark corners of libraries, or just bedtime stories from those older than you, of an island that was the resting place of the Inkpot gods, where they decided to sequester themselves after the final creation was done and rove around the ocean, keeping an eye on their masterpiece. Their own private little sanctum within their own private little world. This was their first step to taking a step back and fully removing themselves from Atramen. And before this moment, you could have sworn that those stories were that, just stories, but feeling the air of the island of Malik, you can tense it. Belle, your fingertips almost spark on their own as the very air itself almost pulses with it. Razz, as a Fae, the Fae were the first crafted after the dragons, the first humanoid being crafted by the Inkpot gods. You, as an ancestry, are closest, second closest after the dragons, and you can feel something. Your wings vibrate a little bit as the wind rolls by and the sound of the waves crash behind you. Variedawnt, you look around. You're used to mountains, but something about the way these mountains are formed sets you on edge. It's not right. You know how mountains work, you know how nature works, and this is unnatural. And Oriana, you actually had a lower DC than everyone else because of your prior experience with researching. So you actually get the same information as both Belle and Razz, but you look around at this island and make a instinct check. Roll for me, actually.
An instinct.
God, I'm gonna use
That is a 14 with hope.
14 with hope. Amazing. Mark your hope. Rolling with so much hope now.
I know.
It's
I'm
not
gonna
gonna
be like,
last.
nope.
Where would you say that your special book is right now?
She's probably, it's probably right on her hip where it always is. She's got a
Right.
different book out that she's taking notes in and jotting things down and writing ideas and stuff, but that
Right.
book is attached to her hip, literally.
You feel... Have you ever had a phantom phone notification in your pocket where You swear your phone vibrated, but it did not.
Mm.
That sensation comes from the book. And as you look down, you swear you catch just the faintest glow from it momentarily. Just at the edge of your vision, almost as if you imagined it.
I pull it out immediately and look at it closely and like hold it up to the fire and hold it up. Like, where did it? Oh, what? That.
So as you sit next to the fire examining your book, you're in the fire at the main fire. There's a few other folks around, some people drinking, some people playing games of chance, some people just playing regular card games. A tall fungrel is regaling his story about how he fought 2 sea beasts to get here. Is anyone else at the fire? In the center of the camp, there seems to be a large bonfire, which seems to be a central gathering place.
I would absolutely say that I've been drawn to the fire.
Mahtalam. Mahtalam. You approach and you see the same fungrel regaling his tales, people dancing behind the fire, playing games, and a smaller catfolk with a large book who is very, very dedicatedly examining it currently in ways that one would not normally examine a book. But like looking at it from various angles and things like that.
Yeah, instead of just reading it. Could I make an instinct roll to see why this book is not just a book, I guess? Or
yeah, you can either make a instinct roll or not. Make an instinct roll.
Yeah.
That's for perceiving.
That is an 11 with fear.
11 with fear. All right. I'm going to mark another fear. Bink.
What have I done?
It's okay. I'm only up to 8 fear. It's fine. Oh no, we've lost a Sophie.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
That's 2 down for me because I can't see or hear Fern at all.
Oh no.
I don't know why. I've been just listening to the Twitch chat. I figure we can work on it at break.
Oh no, Sophie.
It's okay. Sophie should come back. Let me check.
Hey.
There he is. Perfect. Welcome back. This is also why I wanted to stream the way we're streaming.
Yeah, yes, it's perfect. It's good.
With fear, and what was your total?
11.
11. You try to casually walk by and catch an eye on the book, and you don't. There's text on the front that you don't immediately recognize. It's not in common or the cohesive language that everyone seems to speak. It's not in Fae. It's not. It looks familiar. You've seen it somewhere, but you're not quite sure where. And it, for some reason, a pit grows in the bottom of your stomach.
Razz will approach our cat folk. Have you seemed to lost something, darling?
Oh, no, I haven't lost anything. Well, not that I know of. But I thought the book glowed for a second, but it might have just been a trick of the firelight. You know how fire sometimes catches things, and Yeah. So yeah. So no, I've not lost anything in particular. I'm Oriana, by the way. Uh,
Razz, pleasure, I'm sure.
n- nice to meet you. Um,
Oh, soft.
thanks.
As your hand is like 3 times the size of mine, mind
And it's
you.
an unusual sensation because she's usually the smallest. I love your wings. They're beautiful.
You give a little flutter.
But no, I don't know what's. It's just It's an old book, you know.
Mhm.
And she'll put it away in the little spot that she keeps it.
It's fair. Uh, Back home, there's all sorts of antiques and things, and they always end up having odd quirks, the occasional curse, but you know. That's fine.
Oh, that would be interesting. I've never found a cursed book. This one I found in the back of a library, like way in the back, you know, where everything's all dusty and kind of smells
Mm.
funky. But the thing that was interesting about it is that I can't read it, and I can read a lot of languages.
So you can't read
So
the writing, or you like can't open it to read it.
it's no, I can open it, but it's just the language isn't one that I recognize.
Mm.
So and that's unusual. I don't think it's cursed, but now I'm a little concerned about that.
I would look out for it. It seems maybe a little suspicious. And once Madame brought home a cursed umbrella, and well,
Oh,
it nearly burned down the whole place. Which is impressive because it's
an
rather fireproof.
what? An umbrella? That's fascinating. And she'll take out a book and start like making notes about cursed umbrellas and how they somehow set fire to things. I'm gonna have to look into that. I've never heard of that before. Um, well, I've not just. It's just a curiosity. I haven't had any. Well, I've had lots of bad luck, but it wasn't anything to do with the book.
But did you have the book when you had the bad luck?
Not at the time.
Mm, mm.
So
Well, if
hopefully
your luck
it's
turns
nothing.
around.
Well, it couldn't have gotten much worse. I'll tell you that.
You're
But
sure there's not many of us here, so that's good luck.
That's true. Maybe I'll have better luck here. But I'm hoping that I'll be able to find more information about it here. That's why I'm here, actually.
Which, Raz, as you say, there's not many of us here. You look around and saying it aloud
How
kind
many
of.
of us are
You look
here?
around and saying it out loud kind of makes you stop for a moment and look. There may have only been 30, 40 people on your boat.
Oh.
But as you look around, there's 10, 20, 30, 40, 80, 100 tents.
Comparatively to the whole of
More-
society,
Mm,
not many people.
I mean,
There's at
it's a lot less
least-
than
Mm.
capital cities.
That's true.
That's right.
There is at least maybe 200 applicants on this beach. From all across Atramen. Large and small, experienced, naive, and you can. There's a connecting feeling of hope and anticipation and excitement, but you can also see that just from a general look around, you don't even have to be good at reading people. There are people who are eyeing up the competition. Belle, what are you doing right now?
Yeah, I think because of reasons from where she's from, this is really the first time that she is feeling something she normally doesn't feel. Like there's a lot of magic around her. And I think it's distracting her a little bit as she's trying to focus on the area around her, but I think with my arcane sense, I can sense a lot of magical things if I get within close by people. So I think she gets a little bit distracted with this feeling of wait, what's this coming from? No, wait, I should be focusing, but what's this? And it's confusing her a little bit because it's something she normally has not felt. And so it's throwing her a loop a little bit. I don't know if that means I wander into somebody's conversation. I don't know if it means I will be like, I accidentally run into someone. I don't know, but.
As you walk through the paths between the tents and your magic sense just keeps picking up it ping, 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 ping. It is overwhelming.
God. Yeah.
Coming from a small town where magic is few and far between, and powerful magic is even rarer, there are people who are using magic for show, for games. You walk by a small gap between one of the tents. There seems to be a barrel and about 3 persons surrounding it. Another beetle, kind of Hercules beetle fey creature, a tall infernus, jet black skin, splash of white hair that's half black, wearing very fine armaments, and a small dwarf who kind of jumps up and smacks down, and you see it smacks down on the top of the barrel, and you see it bursts into flame as the beetle jumps back and casts a canceling spell, to which in response the infernus kind of sways his hand over both and encapsulates the 2 spells and neutralizes them both. Goes, well, chaps, it seems as if I've won again, and holds out his hand as they place a few handfuls of gold each in his hand. He pockets them and turns and walks away. Magic is alive and well and free here, and it's exciting and intimidating.
Yeah, I think in Belle's mind, it's like, oh God, I'd like to put on a show now, do they? It's just.
And you eventually wander further in and trying to find just either solace or a distraction, something to kind of focus your mind in. Lo, what are you up to?
Lo's being mischievous. Lo has made the decision to seeing all of these people in gatherings, like very used to being in massive crowds, but understanding that this is in part a competition, has decided to sabotage some individuals by getting them blitzed drunk so that they could perform less the next day. So Lo is setting up their own drink and drinking water, but having drinking contests with other people and performing, and just walks into a crowd and just goes, "Oi! Rowdy, 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 oi, oi, oi," and just starts drinking with people and just putting them under the table in one way or another, and is just dancing and performing and trying to gather more and more people to basically just build this party that seems to be on the precipice of just breaking out in just causing this huge rave of people to dance and party and have this drinking contest, and it's all just a part of Lo's secret plan to just secretly cause mischief.
Amazing. Roll a presence check for me. Roll a presence check. We'll find out.
My presence is a present. Oh, hell yeah. 12 on hope plus 6 for fear is an 18 with hope.
Awesome. Mark your hope.
Plus, hold on. I think presence I have. Presence is plus 0. Yeah, so an 18 with hope.
Amazing. This is a perfect time to remind everyone as well to don't forget your experiences. They add a +2 if you can make them connect, but you just have to use a hope for.
Oh, I'm gonna dip into that and try to get this to a 20 because my experience is where are you? What? Oh yeah. One of the abilities I gave was give them the old razzle dazzle.
Mhm.
Um,
Which is
so
this would be the perfect example of giving the old razzle dazzle. So you add 2 to that.
great. So yeah, that puts
So
me
that's
at
a
a
20.
20. I will remove a hope that I just gained, or before I gain
Like
it.
fallen into a pair of well-worn shoes, you strike the ground at a full sprint, and just from almost your image, a harlequin swaying and tumbling through with a crying voice of welcome and the promise of a good time, you have a small trail of people kind of wandering towards the central location of this bonfire, where you notice that were barrels for drink and food for eat and things to keep people busy. And through your effort and your performance, you notice that a decent amount of people start getting a bit too excited with your tales of meeting the lost dragon rider and kind of just building up everyone's imaginations that they already had in their heads of what this could mean for them. Which Razz, Oriana, and Belle, as you wander into the bonfire space at this time, you notice that this party is just starting to kick off here at the bonfire as all shapes and sizes are singing and grabbing pints. And you note, make anyone who's currently at the bonfire can make a instinct roll, which as you do, Variedawnt, what are you up to currently?
Right. So I believe Variedawnt would be just kind of looking around, seeing if there's any my mind just shut off. Um, like people watching us, like observers, like staff observing us, and then if I don't really see anything, I'm just like the one guy at the party who's just like, "Oh, there's an animal. Let me go play with that for a little bit."
um, I think with Belle, she's at the bonfire, but with so much happening and going on, and it's all this chaos happening, she's like, okay, I'm gonna step away a little bit. We'll try to like find a place that's to get away from it a little bit to, as you say, find solace and not have it be as strong with the magic sense, which makes sense because I rolled a 4 with hope and then +2 with instincts is a 6, so I think it makes sense that she
If
ventures
you
away.
do you wish to try to stay out in the open and find a spot, or do you wish to go back to your tent?
I think she's gonna find a place out in the open just because it's just I mean, you don't really get to see that much and everything. It's not that. I think she's just like, I just need a place to sit. My brain's too much to go find my tent. I'm sure I know what it is, but I just, the closest thing, which would probably be somewhere out in the open, a little bit away from the bonfire, and then just like sit. But we can get back to me later because there's other things going on, but that's what she's doing.
You step back into the shadows and make your way kind of towards the sound of the lapping waves a bit. As Variedawnt, you see a bright yellow, fluffy bottom corgi just doing sprints around the bonfire, and kind of music has started kicking up. People have seemed to brought instruments. There are various classes and professions here as a band kind of picks up, and Rouge just starts kind of accentuating barking on beat with the music. Kind of walk up, and this creature is tiny compared to you. Well, actually, you're not. You're fairly average size. You're 5'7", so it's a normal corgi size compared to you. Kind of comes up to your mid calf, and as you approach, kind of looks at you and goes, "Bah!" and just keeps running around the central bonfire. On the other side of the bonfire, you see a harlequin who has kind of jumped up onto a barrel and is giving a show as well, along with a few other forms who have just kind of found their way to this central area, including a red-winged fairy who seems to be staying pretty close to that dog, and a cat
Perched
folk.
atop one of the barrels, kicking my legs, just laughing, watching Rupestrix having a grand old time with the zoomies.
Sorry, my cats are getting moving now. Okay.
Speaking
Hey,
of fluffy
don't bite.
creatures.
Perfect timing.
Yeah, I'll just like lean over to the pup when he comes. She.
That's a use question, Razz.
Sorry. I
Gender of
Oh no,
flipper?
you're good.
He.
Key. Okay, yeah. Variedawnt will lean over towards the pup as he like comes running around with the zoomies. Like, well, you're nope, that's not the voice. You're an excited little one. Must be good to stretch your legs after being cooped up on a boat for so long.
Could you roll a presence on that?
Presence. I got a +0. God damn it. 8 with fear.
It was
Oh
fear.
no.
It's not my A.
You don't. Take one of those
Stop
in
it.
real quick.
Stop
I didn't
it,
expect to
Tatara.
get this much fatting. I mean, expect to get this much fear just quickly.
The dog's the true villain in the campaign. Sorry. drop all the fear into that dog right now.
We're dying because no one can defeat a
I
pup.
drop 8 fear to change the alignment of Rue.
Don't you dare. He's my pretty boy. I would say with that, he does like a little growl, runs around the fire, barks, growls, runs around the fire.
All right. Well, I get it. I won't try and play with you too much.
And
look around,
Oh,
like,
Rue, please be nice.
that little one yours.
He is indeed. Holding out my hand. We match. Though your skin is glistening, darling.
Well, thank you. So yeah, you're also pinkish red too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have quite the pink hue to me. Which
Words?
I'm just now staring up at you. Very up at you. With my just big white eyes blinking.
Yeah, I guess we do match, man. Well, it's nice to meet you. I'm Variedawnt.
Variedawnt. I like it. Razz, it's a pleasure, sir.
Yeah, pleasure's mine. So, what? Out of curiosity, you're the first person I've talked to here. What are you looking to get out of all of this?
I mean, what are we all looking for? Many people fame, others power. I'm just hoping to meet someone, honestly. A particular someone, mind you.
Right, sure, yes.
Realizing the misunderstanding.
as the pause happens and Rue just goes, "Rrr?" One of the chaos chart of chaos rolls have activated. As one of the partiers gets a little too excited and tumbles back and kind of collapses into the bonfire, which, as he gets engulfed, the flame turns a bright green, and you just hear from inside the fire. He stands up, and you see a red Dracona figure, spines
Looks like a
down
dragonborn,
the back
right?
of his head, hefty hands, and wearing kind of a shoulder padded, pea-coated robe that goes down the front. The robe starts kind of burning away a little bit, and he kind of lumbers out. The flame dies back to the normal color it was, and goes, "Oh, it's lucky that was me, huh?" Party! And blows a billowing plume of fire into the sky, kind of charges over and grabs two barrels, and so uses the horns on his head to pop two holes in them and just starts pouring them into people's glasses. Let's show this dragon rider what we can do, huh? We're all gonna do great. We're all gonna make it. I know it. Don't worry about
Do you
it.
normally burn green?
It's chemical reaction with my scales. I'm a descendant of the necromantic dragon, so like it kind of goes into my scales a bit. If you look real close, and he gets way too close to your face and points at his arm with one of the scales on his arm and goes, at the very base of my scales is black, and then it turns into that purpley color, and then it turns red. I'm mainly fired, but my like 2% necro on my mom's side.
I'd kind of like to fly up closer to him. They're so beautiful. Would you mind so terribly giving me one of those gorgeous scales of yours, darling?
That's a really weird thing to ask, lady. You just walk up to that guy over there and ask for a piece of his hair?
Yeah.
I only ask people who I think are extraordinary.
Also, should I not give you presents? Isn't this a favor? Hold on. What's going on? He's gonna roll a instinct. My new fancy dice.
My goodness, Ruby.
Fear.
You're starting to sound like
Not
one of
that I
my
can
characters from
generate
my
my own
other
fear.
campaign.
12 fear. So 12 fear. When I roll with fear, I'm not going to add it to my own stock because that just seems cheating.
Good. Good.
Goes, I apologize, lady dear. I'm of a bit too much to drink and was just at a flame. But
Absolutely brilliant, I might add.
and you're complimenting me a lot, and you're one of them brave folk. So I'm a go. No offense, I'm sure you're very nice, but I don't want to wake up in some weird deal tomorrow. My pappy told me not to make deals after nighttime or after imbibing in the nuptials of the I'm gonna go bye. And he grabs his tail and just walks away.
Oh my god.
The night progresses on. Belle, you've kind of stepped back a little bit, finding a little bit of recluse in the waves. The party continues to billow on, or raucously continue at the center of this campsite, and the sun sets. In Daggerheart, during a long rest, you can choose to do downtime activities. Now, there will be specific downtime activities that you can do once the school has actually begun, but for now, it is just the normal downtime activities. That said, none of you have really gained a stress or lost health points or anything like that.
Low.
I gained 1 stress, but I realized afterward that I have a pendant for calm. That if I mark a stress, I can roll a d6, and if I get a 5 or higher, I don't mark the stress.
Oh, cool.
Ooh.
Yes, right.
It's very dangerous as a druid because that makes it easier. I forgot that I had that ability, so yes, I marked a stress.
Perfect.
Is that a druid thing?
No, it's one of the magical items that we rolled on a table for.
Cool.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh.
So, during a long rest, you can tend to all wounds, clear all stress, repair all armor, prepare, or work on a project. The only two that really would attune to you now are prepare, describe how you prepare for the next day's adventure, then gain a hope. If you choose to prepare with one or more members of your party, you each gain 2 hope. None of you are a party yet. So, if you wish to gain a hope, you can prepare for the next day and gain a hope that way. Or you can work on a project, establish or continue work on a project. See the following: work on a project in downtime section. So if you have anything you would like to prepare for your downtime for the next day, you can. Does anyone wish to partake in any of those things for downtime activities? Yes, Belle?
I think after finally kind of stepping away in by the water, it's kind of calming down from just it's a lot. It's a lot. All right, time to focus. And then she's gonna reach into her bag satchel and she's gonna pull out a bunch of different pieces of writing and things written on paper that she has gotten from someone she knows back at home that helped her get here and might have given her possibly more information of maybe what's to come or what she should prepare for.
All right, so you take out these papers, and reading the information you have, you take the time and prepare for the next day.
Mm-hmm.
You've studied these papers so many times on the trip over here. But even just being able to read the handwriting of someone close to you helps kind of calm those nerves, brings you back to a little level of familiarity. And you feel a bit more prepared by the fact that you've been reassured in the reasons for your coming in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Does anyone else wish to participate in a downtime activity? So you gain a hope.
Yay.
Yeah, I think I would as well, somewhat similarly, be going through the books that I have on me. Looking for just any sort of things that might be useful, spells or tips or tricks, or anything about lore of the island that might be useful.
All right. You flip through your books, every so often going back to the one on your hip, looking through it, and then closing and going back to your other texts. The information about the entrance exam has been non-existent. No one knows what they're getting into tomorrow at sunrise. But you try to cover all your bases. And by the time that you start kind of nodding off, holding your books, you feel as prepared as you can be before you drift off into sleep, and you gain a hope. Does anyone else wish to prepare or do anything for downtime?
Lo is going to remove a stress.
Perfect. Removes all stress.
Again.
Variedawnt.
They're going to do that by partying. So
By partying. Perfect. That sounds fantastic.
But not drinking, just causing absolute mayhem.
Oh, absolutely.
Moving
Decompressing.
the party.
So fit.
Yeah, literally moving the party from the area where the bonfire is and moving it closer to tents where people are trying to sleep. So just even if you're not a part of the party, Lo is making sure that you are.
Party's coming to you.
Amazing.
Yeah.
You're just conga lining through the entire campsite. Amazing. You remove your stress by what are the words I'm looking for? You remove your stress by having a carefree and ruckus night. Variedawnt, what would you like to do for downtime?
You said we're in tents, right?
Yep,
They're
you're
not
intense.
like sleeping bags on the beach. Okay. All I'm doing is just kind of like adding extra layers to my tent.
Okay.
Just because I know I glow at night, and a lot of people aren't used to that. So I'm just like
Oh.
trying to pad it so it's like I'm not a nightlight for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's pretty though.
Like, yeah, everyone needs
We'll
their
call that
rest.
preparing. So
Okay.
you go and kind of methodically add layers to the side of your tent, go outside, try to look to see what you put a candle inside, you go outside, try to see if any light's leaking through. Pull back, go inside, and settle down, hoping that you are not causing any stress to anyone around you. And you gain hope. Razz, what are you doing for your downtime?
Razz and Rue are doing their nightly routine, of course. Because, of course, we have to. So it's unstrapping all the leather armor from Rue, giving him good scritches out. Because, wearing armor all day gets heavy. You need to switch them.
So
Good brushes and doing her own, like, little hair and washing up routine.
setting into your nightly routines for both yourself and Rue, you find solace in the ritual and gain hope as you prepare for the next day. Hugrokk, you are asleep. So we're gonna call that preparing for the next day. So you also gain a hope, but
Just sleeps through it
also
all.
come morn of the next day, you will also have a benefit. You will have advantage on the until your next short rest on all of your rolls for tucking in for an early night's sleep and being prepared for the next morning forward.
Yeah.
It's a pays to be responsible.
Apparently so.
You all tuck into your tents, eventually finding your way there. After the partying, after the solace, after the nightly traditions, you all lay on your just soft enough cots. Hear the crashing of the waves against the beach. A few other people who haven't quite found their ways to their beds yet. You hear, "Where'd that Harlequin go? Come here!" It's like, "Hey, did anyone see that Dragonborn? Is he okay?" Just like wandering through and around the tent. And eventually, you all fall asleep. And that is where we will take our first break, as we have already been streaming for an hour and 35 minutes. And when we return, we will start right at the break of dawn with you all up on the Western Cliff. So, we will take a break for 10 minutes, so we will return exactly at 10:10. So, get some water, get some drinks. That's the same thing. Get some snacks, take care of yourself, and we will see you momentarily. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Banana.
I have 4 beverages.
I have a bowl of
What did
popcorn.
you just say? Welcome back, everyone. I do not know if we have enough beverages here. Oh, I have tea. Where did that come from?
I made you tea. Also, there's chocolates here for you.
Chocolate? I like chocolate. Wonderful.
Is it a pump?
Hell yes, Wolfie.
Thank you all for joining us again, and let us dive back in. So, let me turn this down a little bit. We wake up the next morning You all exit your tents and make your way to the westernmost peak of the island of Malwick, high above, towering over this rolling forest that stretches out for miles in front of you. The cliff starts to get packed, busy, crowded. Space is getting a bit limited as you all kind of sequester into this area that you were very obscurely told to meet at. As the sun peaks over and the first rays cascade through the mountains on the other side, a figure appears on the very opposite end of the cliff face. A lithe formed man, it seems. Tall, arcing horns, bronze with carvings inside, a flash of white hair, and pale lavender skin. A beard travels down his chin and ends in a small point. He's dressed rather finely. What looks to be brown tweed pants that kind of loosen out at the bottom, covering whatever boots he's wearing. A cane that he's leaning on heavily, and on his torso he wears a white button-down shirt with a double-breasted asymmetric vest. He appears in front of you and looks over you all, and the murmuring of the crowd comes to a bit of a stop. He goes, "Well, it seems everyone has made it. Welcome and salutations. I am Edney Tanaga, your host and your judge for the next day, I suppose. Thank you all for so hastily responding to my missive. Well, let's just say you've all passed the first test, finding your way here. There were many boats who were approaching who did not make it. So you've already succeeded on the first test. This is a wandering island after all. So whether it is by skill or luckily just walking onto the right boat, congratulations. Now, he kind of searches his pockets, seems to be losing something. You see from behind him, glowing green circles cast beam of light from eyes of a mechanical figure. Pupilless, though expressive thanks to the aspiring irises acting as eyelids, this form walks up and you hear this kind of timid voice reach out to Aaron and goes, "Here you are, Erdney." And he hands what looks to be a small little notebook. He goes, "Oh, thank you, Finstrel." As they take a step back, you see that this Clank figure is a stark mix of nature and forgery. Their head sits proudly, a gleaming, almost shovel-like face that slenders down into two scissor blades that act as a pseudo-beard. Their neck, a slender tube that disappears into the gnarled chest plate made of charred oak wood bark. Their figure cuts a harsh triangle down to their legs, one of which is sleek interlocking bronze plates, while the other is more of the gnarly bark woven together by twisted vines. Their hands are covered with thick leather gardening gloves that climb up to about their elbows. You see they kind of hand Erdney the notebook and take a step back and just kind of nod, their eyes closing and opening in a mimic of a blink. Goes, "Everyone, this is my son Finstrel Tanaga. You will see him around. He will also, if you manage to enter into the halls of Wyrmhold Academy, will be your apothecary teacher, amongst other things, but primarily apothecary. I also take quite pride in learning the various flora of the entirety of Malwick. I look forward to working with you all." "Yes, Finstrel, quite good. Now, is anyone else coming?" "They said they are busy, Erdney." "They're busy? What do you mean they're busy. What? This is the opening. Whatever. Fine. You will meet your other Lorthus later, apparently. Today, I will be your judge, as well as Finstrel here. We have designed this entrance exam together. Now, there will be no questions, and you will have to figure it out as you go. Here is the parameters of your test. As the sun rises now, you have until the sun rises again to catch yourself a creature of the island. One that, well, where'd it go? Oh no. So many notes apps. Apologies, everyone. We're opening up the right note app.
The teacher lost his notes.
Quick,
The
let's
teacher-
play him while he's not listening. Let's play him while he's not listening.
Right, so you guys go over here and we'll go.
Yes.
I imagine he's just like reading and the wind blows. It's like, a creature of. Hold on, let me find the page again.
You see, he's just flipping through the notebook that Finstrel handed him and goes like, "Oh, what is that creature's name, Finstrel? You should know, don't you?" And goes, "I do, Erdni, but you told me to not answer questions because you like to keep your mind sharp." It's like, oh, bother, you're right. Well, it's a super fast hare. It's a little rabbit. But be careful, because they have a nasty tendency to electrocute you. And you see Finstrel just kind of raises his hand and touches his forehead a little bit and goes, "I believe I'm going to name them Sparkets. Yes, they are now known as Sparkets. Catch one Sparket, capture it. And you've proven yourself worthy. That is it. They live quite rampantly in the forest down below. Though they do have a few predators that you should watch out for. If you can catch a Sparket, you will pass the entrance exam and be welcomed into the halls of Wyrmhold Academy. Be wary, however, for one of the predators that lives below is called the Volwolf, a giant wolf-hawk hybrid who has a tendency to pounce upon its prey without anyone noticing. Quite intriguing. Now, if you wish to take a challenge, you can either capture a Sparket or save the forest and quell the rage of this Volwolf that has been terrorizing the forest for the past few days. It was fine before. I don't know what's made it so upset. So, that's your quest. 24 hours. Catch a Sparket. And return to me. Does that sound feasible? Yes? See it one hand. Hugrokk raises his hand in the crowd. Yes, you.
Oh,
You
he
said
knows
capture, but you didn't specify dead or alive.
Oh. Fine, there can be one question. Alive. Dead is easy.
Understood.
Dead is easy. The trick with these is that they're fast. Here one moment, gone the next. A strange... well. Maybe I shouldn't give you a hint. Don't want to make it boring now, do I? You have to use your own wits about you. If you know about these creatures already, maybe you know their secrets. If not, well, I guess you'll figure it out. So, I've already taken one more question than I said I was going to. So, I do believe that if I talk anymore, I will just eat into your time. So, Finstrel, are the charges set? Yes, Erdni. Very good. Now, I'm going to give this boon to you. Your first task after making it here, is now getting to the forest below. I will help you with that. He raises his cane and whacks it onto the ground, and you see the small spark that the ground starts shattering. It rumbles and shakes as the ground beneath you all crumbles.
No.
The entire cliff face shatters, and everyone around you and yourself starts to plummet down to the forest
Is he
floor
and the robot
below.
falling as
Probably about 200 feet.
well? Oh boy.
Oh no.
So, the spotlight is yours, my intrepid players.
Grabbing on to Rue's harness on the leather armor that he wears and furling out my wings, we are going to try to take control of this fall to glide down, though flying does add a stress.
Okay, so mark a stress and roll a, I'll say either an agility or a finesse roll. As you try to navigate down this cliff face, your wings being of aid to you, as if you didn't have a portly corgi with you, you could just fly down yourself. So scooping into the harness of Rue, you roll a...
That's a 20 with fear.
20 with fear. So a success with fear. Very nice. Let me just lovely. I'm almost full on fear, guys, and we haven't even done much yet.
I know, I've noticed the layout. I've noticed the layout.
Doesn't make me feel good.
No.
Doesn't feel nice at all.
You hook into the harness, but the floor fell faster than you expected. And as you rear up, you feel the tiniest little as one of the straps of the harness snaps. He's still fully entrenched and held by this harness, and you manage to slow him down just the tiniest bit as you glide down as the precipice, rubble and bodies falling past you as you're now slowed state. Who's next?
I have an idea. I have a spell called Power Push that's normally used to like knock an enemy back, but I would like to try to push against some of the falling rubble towards what's remaining of the cliff face and just grab on with my claws.
All right. Make a either, let's say, strength or agility check.
I'm going to go with agility.
Okay.
It's only slightly better. Oh, that's a 12 with fear.
12 with fear. You push off, trying to claw into the wall, but the charges that Aaron talked about seemed to have descended down into the wall. As you reach into another one, and the wall just seems to disintegrate as you try to hold on. You manage to latch into one large piece that seems to be holding together and is sliding down the cliff face. If you mark a stress, I will let you re-roll and try to ride that rubble down the entire cliff face.
Okay, I will mark a stress then.
While you're rolling that, I just noticed I have something for the Blood Hunter class that I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
my Shadowed Grit ability, or when the DM gains a fear from a duality roll, I can mark a stress to gain a hope.
Oh,
Interesting.
good
Oh,
one.
that's cool.
I'm gonna do that.
Sounds like a good plan.
I misread my card, so flying doesn't actually do a stress unless I want to use it as an evasive maneuver against an attack.
Which, as we're playing, if you realize that you've chosen a card that doesn't actually fit your loadout, you can swap it out. Because since we're still learning.
So on my reroll, I rolled a 3 with hope.
Okay. Take your hope. You claw in and you slide about 30 feet down the cliff face before hitting another boulder that seems wedged into the cliff. It just shatters the piece you're on, and you once again start tumbling through the air.
Bacon.
As you-
During this stressful time.
All right.
Oh,
Oriana
God.
is now tumbling through the air once again. Razz is still parachuting down. What is everyone else doing?
Can I ask
I
a
would like-
question? Oh, go ahead.
Belle.
I was gonna say, I would like to attempt to push off from like one of the larger pieces of rubble, I guess, that are possibly around Hugrokk.
Mm-hmm.
Pull out the longsword and try and put it into the cliff face a little bit. Not enough to where like, it stops his descent, but slows it down. And then using the broken sword hilt, placing the flat of the blade on top of it and kind of like using his forearm. Like, so I'm just like,
Okay.
and trying to slow his descent
Perfect.
enough to where the
Make-
fall wouldn't kill him.
Make a strength or a... I think it's just a strength roll. Make a strength roll.
And the advantage is with the d6.
Yes.
Yes.
And that's just a neutral thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Until you take another short rest.
Oh. What happens if I get doubles on the
That
That
hope and
is a
fear?
crit. So you clear all stress and clear all your hit points if you've taken any stress or hit points
Oh my
yet.
God,
And
first
you
crit.
automatically succeed no matter what. Congratulations on the first crit.
I got a 27 then.
27.
Hell yeah!
Dang. You wedge your longsword into the wall, slowing your fall, and maneuver the hilt to try to glide down, and you manage to just sparks cascading behind you. Get down about 50, 70, 80 feet. You see others around you. Elves trying to nimbly dodge down the rubble but fall to the wayside. Another Fae who is seemingly doing the same thing Razz is doing without the cargo, but gets knocked out of the air by a falling piece of shrapnel. You do make a instinct check roll for me, please. But you also have advantage on this.
That is a 28 with fear.
28 with fear. All right. I will take that last fear. I am now full on fear. I guess I should start using that.
So am
I
I.
also have where did it go? I have courage, so when I fail a roll with fear, oh, it's fail. I apologize. Never mind. I take it back.
That's fair.
I passed the roll.
You succeed.
Oh my God.
So, with fear, you hear a loud metal against stone sound coming from directly behind you, which as you turn and kind of pivot, you see riding a large tower shield, oval-esque tower shield, wearing full chain armor, chain shorts, tall metal pauldrons with a full face-plated helmet that just has a T cut into the shape for an eye slit, is this blue-haired woman who's riding down her shield like a sled, and behind her, holding on to her shoulders, is a tiny 10, 11-year-old girl, blue hair, wearing fitted hearted leather, and is just kind of on the back going, let's go, let's go, let's go. And you just barely catch the voice of the older woman controlling the cart going, Hilda, you need to hold on or you're gonna tip us over. And they just whiz past you, almost knocking you out of the way. You lose your balance for a moment and reaffirm the placement of the sword in the wall and continue your way down. Up next, who wishes to go?
Can I ask a clarifying question?
Of course.
So when we were on the cliffside, right? So this is the cliff, or this is the ledge, and this is the drop off. Was the teacher here or like here? So is
He
the teacher
was
following
on the
with us?
no, he was on the very edge. He seemed to tap his cane into the ground, which
Okay.
activated the chain of explosives that
So the
dislodged the
crowd
cliff,
was more
essentially.
away, like more on the cliff, and he was on.
Yeah,
the other side.
the crowd was essentially backed up to the very edge of the cliff, and he appeared on the other end, so he kind of corralled you onto this cliff face and then destroyed the cliff face underneath you.
Understood. What do we do here?
So I have an idea what Lo would do. But Lo would look for anyone that's absolutely struggling first before doing what they want to do for themselves.
Make a presence check.
Cool. So Cool. What did you call for? Is that instinct? To perceive?
I think it would be instinct.
Sorry, yes, instinct, not presence.
I just started dancing. Fuck yeah.
Do a little dance.
Heck yeah.
How's he moonwalking through the air and slowing himself down?
They're
Slows
just having a
themselves
great day.
Oh my goodness.
2 8s.
Hey, another
Two
crit!
eights, crit, nice. So that
So-
clear all stress, clear all HP.
That's 18 with
Wait, are crits auto
what is the
heals?
crit?
Yeah.
It heals
Are they?
1, I believe.
All right.
Just the one.
Oh, is it just the one? I apologize.
So it's an automatic success. You gain a hope, and where?
You also gain a hope. Nice.
and you clear a stress.
A stress. Okay. Apologies.
Yeah, cool.
Which I already
Clear
And-
a stress, gain a hope.
Wow.
Getting too excited. I apologize.
We're learning.
We're learning the rules.
We're excited, we're
man.
nervous,
right.
and some of us might be screaming as we're falling.
Which means
Yeah.
Hugh gains a hope.
Yes, Hugrokk gains a hope from his crit earlier.
Mhm.
So as you are falling down, trying to catch an eye on someone who's struggling, make
Oh, here we go.
roll a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Roll a d6 for me.
Hold, please. That's a 6.
6. Okay. You see a yes. You see a bald dwarven man trying to sit on a large wok that he has strapped to his back, bald on top, billowing bright orange beard, and wearing a knitted sweater, like lime green knitted sweater, red scarf around his neck, and you can see around his waist there's like a wooden spoon, a tankard, a small little hatchet, and just various bits and bobs. And he's holding this small little book as he rides down on his walking. He's going, "Oh dear, that's not think." Ricochets off, falls off his walk, and tries to then swing it around as a parachute, which is just not working. This very stocky dwarf is just having a hard time.
So here's a heroic thing I would like to do. Running down the wall, seeing this. Lo currently is not dressed like a harlequin, but is wearing no makeup and has like his arms covered and has his hood, just looking more like a roguish ranger type. This billowing green cloak had seen the explosion, and they just have just a grin on their face as they're like, "Oh, this is chaotic." But they see this dwarf and they go, "Oh, we need to save the cook." And they jump up and do a backflip and then break this leaf on their hand and rub it onto the dwarf's forehead. And it spreads like a spider web on them. As I'm going to spend a hope and cast Wall Walk on the dwarf so they can walk down. They can basically climb on walls and ceilings as easily as walking on the ground. So my hope is that he can... Hi, I disappeared.
You're good.
I was about to say.
I was
wow, you're getting
it,
really
it perfectly timed with you saying I do a backflip, and I was just waiting for a pause to be like, so did your camera.
Yeah, my camera is great at doing backflips. Following me, absolutely not. So I do that to the dwarf, and then as I kick off his shoulder, I just wild shape into the flying squirrel again. I cannot do hand gestures because my camera does not like them. And just turn into a flying squirrel.
All right. You run across the wall, leap, touch his forehead, and go, "Oh!" Then disappear as if never being there as a flying squirrel. Does he notice? Does he catch that? Yeah, he does. Nice. He goes, "Oh, he kind of tumbles and then just sticks his feet firmly on the ground, like, oh, facing face down towards the ground, but standing on the vertical wall like it's horizontal. He goes, "Oh, thank you, kind squirrel. I hope we make it into school together."
Aww.
Okay, now I have to get down. 1 foot at a time. And starts slowly plodding his way down the side of the cliff face as you cascade into the upper canopy. Amazing. So we have Belle, Variedawnt, Oriana, and that's it. Razz is safely getting almost to the bottom now. Hugrokk is getting about the same pace, and Lo has firmly landed themselves in the lead, while also helping a friend along the way. So, any ideas, guys?
I'm just saying this right now. Belle is absolutely freaking her shit out. She was not expecting this. And so I think as this is falling, she is shouting a slur of obscenities and like, "What the fucking hell cross is this?" She's just falling. And she is starting to panic. And I think she's going to be panicking free falling for a while unless there's something to help try to break her out of her stupor. I don't know if that gives me a stress or not, but she's absolutely freaking out.
Yeah. Get it? Gain a stress.
No, I shouldn't have said anything.
And roll a... I'm actually going to use a fear.
No.
Uh-oh.
It was
since
nice
I
knowing you
got him.
guys.
It'll be fine. They can't kill us on the
I'm going to
first
use a
session.
fear, and I'm going to
Oh, you'd like to believe that.
activate delayed explosion, where as those of you still free falling have now free fallen 100 feet and have 100 feet left to go.
Oh my god.
Another set of explosions erupt from above, and a new wave of rubble and shrapnel are now coming down from above.
Fucking hell.
Well,
The timer is now progressed
Oh my god.
and is now
Yeah,
on a
but
2.
is the dwerf okay? That's all.
The dwarf seems to be fine. He seemed to be past
what?
that
I don't
halfway
know.
point now. He's plotting.
Oh
He's
my
plotting his
gosh.
way down.
Sweet.
Okay.
Honestly, the dwarf and the dragonborn, only ones I care about right now.
That's valid.
Okay. All right.
Traps. The traps.
Okay.
With the
I
rubble now
think
above you,
Mhm.
if you do not find a way to land by the time that the counter, which in Daggerheart there's these things called counters, or timers, and they progress based on various things. This was a D4 timer, so you are halfway to the end of the timer. If the timer reaches the end before you find a way to survive the fall, it won't be great.
Okay.
But it's fine. We're gods.
Okay.
Level 1.
basically gods.
Okay.
I become a goldfish.
Become a goldfish. Okay. Well, I think with the
Get that
rubble
reference.
falling, Belle's just like, the bloody hell is this shit that I've gotten into? Okay, and then it's going to. I think she instinctively like clutches kind of around herself and is just squeezing her fists so tightly with this bracelet that she has that she's protecting at all costs. And it's just like, light as a feather, straight as a bird, light as a feather, straight as a bird. And she's gonna try and dive into whatever she has within her to try and maybe do something where she's like lighter than air and she's not falling as fast and trying to do something, because she is so new to all of this. She does not know what she needs to reach for, but she's just trying to imagine just to be as light as a feather and just like gracefully, in some way possible, safely land down below and avoid all this other rubble that is coming down. And that's all that she can think of. I don't know. Oh god. Would I be able to use manipulate magic to mark a stress to add a +2 to an action of this roll? Because I have
Yeah.
absolutely no idea what to roll for.
So
Oh, God.
roll an instinct, because that is your spell casting.
Okay.
So roll an instinct, add your manipulate magic.
Okay. That would be a +2 to that. Okay.
Yep, mark a stress.
Yeah,
And
back to your stress now.
then-
Great.
See what you get.
Great!
It's
We
fine.
love this.
It's fine.
You
Don't worry
can do
about
it.
Okay, there's no way I could add hope to this afterwards, right? Like spend a hope or
Oh no, you can.
No.
If you think that you can use experience after the roll.
yeah.
So if you
yeah,
have an
I don't-
experience that you think you can finagle into, hey, if you
Yeah.
can make it make sense,
Okay. All right.
you can use an experience.
Okay. All right. I'll do it after the roll. Let's see what I get. I guess. Okay. So, that is. Okay. So, that's an 11 with fear, but a +2 makes that a 13, and then another +2 would make it a 15.
Okay. So I'll take that fear back.
And I'm not gonna add 2 more stress to change it into hope because I have too much stress already. But I do add something else to my community. Know the tide. You can sense the ebb and flow of life. When you roll with fear, place a token on community card and can hold that token equal to level. And before an action roll, you can use the token for a +1. But so I'll save that for later.
So Well, technically, you could take that and because you just rolled with fear, so you could hold
Yeah, I just rolled
that
with fear.
token. So you could put a
Can I
token
do it
on your-
again? Can I add it to this? Can I make it a 16?
That one specifically says before you make.
Before,
the action.
okay, never
So now
mind
you
then,
have a
never
plus
mind,
one
you're
to
right.
hold on to, because whenever you hold a
Yes.
fear, you can tack up those Seaborn effects.
Okay. All right. So yeah, it's a 15.
So with 15.
That's got to be a pretty good roll, right? Like, I mean, 15 out of 24.
15 with fear. Yeah.
Yeah.
15 with 15 with fear.
Mm-hmm.
You plummet that final 100 feet. Desperately trying to focus in on your magic, find a way to make it work. And in the back of your mind just flashes of all of your past experiences with magic. And how most of them ended. Not most of them, but how the ones that stick in your brain ended poorly.
Yeah.
Small, right at the last second as the ground is plummeting towards you, you close your eyes, clench your hand, and feel the perfectly curated and tinkered metal of your hand accessory, your casting focus. You squeeze and you should have hit the ground by now. You open your eyes, and as soon as you open your eyes, you slam into the ground with not nearly as much force as you would have. Your eyes were closed. You don't know how you didn't hit the ground, but you didn't hit the ground. Did it work? Enough for now. Variedawnt and Oriana.
All right. Oriana is she's like falling like a cat, with her back arched a little bit. And she's gonna just think, get it together. And I'm going to use an experience. I have the experience Fast Learner. And I'm going to try what I did before, but try to figure out what I messed up before, like whether it was the angle of the push spell or how I grabbed on or whatever, and see if I can do it again, but successfully this time, using that.
Amazing. So add that and then make a just double check something. Your spellcasting is knowledge, correct?
Yes.
Yes, so make a knowledge roll with that addition to it. As you take a second, reassess, focus in, and cast your spell.
Oh, that's better. Okay. So that's 19 with hope.
Nice. Take your hope. Settling it in, taking a breath, and focusing back. You reach a hand down onto the book, angle and cast your spell. How do you land at the bottom of this cliff?
I think it's just like a cat would, like all four, but like taking some of the impact on all fours, and then like standing up and just brushing herself off.
You land on your feet, as always. Brush yourself off and look around you, and you can hear the birds and cries of creatures coming from the forest in front of you. But you've made it. Behind you, you hear, "Ah, you look behind. Someone landed. It's like, I'm okay, but I can't move. Oh no. And you see this kind of sheen of magic shimmer over him at the last second before he impacted. It seems as if there's some sort of ward set in place where you may not die, but your body will no longer be able to move if you fail the landing of this jump. You just hear
Hilda,
calling
she's
from
gonna
a
make
down,
note in her book.
from up being like, "Oh, well, good try. Don't worry. Fincher will come down and dig you out once everyone's gone."
I knew you wouldn't kill us right away.
Still.
Very good.
Yeah. So my original plan was to ride it down and just see what happens. But with the secondary explosion of rocks coming down on us, he's gonna try and like drift away best he can, and then I want to use my quick tinker experience to MacGyver some bullshit, and I'm just like gonna pull out a rope from my backpack, tie it to like a sleeve of my jacket, tie the other end of the rope to my sleeve, and just try and makeshift a parachute.
Amazing.
Yes, I love
My
this.
backup plan is to whip my coat off and just like try to parachute.
Seeing how
That's
well
smart.
the dwarf using his walk pan as a parachute did before, you look at him and go, "I bet I can do that better." Roll a knowledge check. Yeah, roll a knowledge check for me.
Knowledge? Okay. And then to use an experience, it's cost you 1 hope, correct?
Yes, it costs 1 hope to
Okay.
use an experience. You can use multiple hope to use multiple experiences if you can find a way to finagle them all into making sense working.
Oh, okay. So like you can use the other experience.
Yeah, you just
Okay,
have to spend
so
another hope.
Mine would not make sense for that. So
That's fair.
because it's dealing with death and shit. So, okay. So +2 plus. What'd you say to roll? Knowledge?
Knowledge,
So
yes.
Total +3 to this. Yeah. Okay. Still a good roll, but with fear. So
Well, can't get any more fear.
15,
Awful.
16, 17, 18 total. Right?
18 total. Nice.
Hey.
So you managed to
Yeah, 18.
land on a piece of rubble that's falling. With a bit of sure ground, you take off your jacket, grab some rope off your hip, and start finagling. You run, leap, and spread your arms as wide as possible. The jacket flutters in the wind momentarily. You plummet about 20 feet before you catch a gust and float down and land on the floor at the bottom. Over the next 5 to 10 minutes, the numbers of participants reduce from over 200 to 50.
50?
As-
50?
50.
Wow.
Oh boy.
All those poor drunks. I did my work here.
You
Well,
did.
You
Which-
sound so remorseful.
Just gonna say, I
I'm so
had
sad
a
about it.
So
I had a roll. I
indeed.
had a thing to roll to see how many people would make it, and the DC greatly increased once you rolled so well at trying to get as many people drunk as possible.
That's fair.
Because
That's amazing.
waking up hungover, not remembering last night, hiking to a cliff. That cliff then explodes.
It's fine.
And then you are plummeting. So the headache from the accentuated by the explosion, and then the vertigo from the fall messing with your already not great stomach. Great.
That's fair.
That's very fair. Good job.
50 people remain. And they and you charge forward into.
So are we included in that 50 or
You are included
50
in that
plus
50,
us?
yes.
Okay.
Let's
Yes,
just say
you
you
are
reached
included.
a new low.
I don't get it.
Wow.
How
Wow.
dare you? How dare you?
Yeah, more to where that comes from.
Gaining inspiration.
You all charge into the wood. Tall, 10 to 30 to 40-foot trees, a mixture of oak and ash and pine, twist and bramble through, creating a gnarly forest floor. Brush cling to your feet as you charge through. You can find small little animal paths, but there are no official paths carved through these woods. Or so you think. At least you haven't noticed yet. If everyone could roll a instinct check for me, adding any experiences you wish,
Okay.
or any class
just double checking.
features. Yes.
Just double checking because I don't know if I heard it properly. So I had closed my eyes. I had wished to be as light as a feather and just like get down, but my eyes were still closed. But I felt something land. Have I opened my eyes yet? And am I progressing forward with the rest of the group at this point, or what happened?
Oh no, sorry. Your eyes were closed, and as soon as you opened them, you collapsed into the ground.
Oh,
So,
okay,
like,
got it.
You opened them, you saw for a split second that you were like an inch above the ground, and as soon as you opened your eyes, you collapsed into the
Did
ground.
that take any damage?
Appreciate that.
No.
Cool. All right.
16
was
with hope.
Double checking that.
Oh, yeah, no, perfect. If you ever have any clarification questions or anything, feel free to ask.
What are we rolling for again? Sorry.
Instinct.
Instinct.
16
okay,
with
sorry.
hope,
I was
take your
trying
hope.
to see if I had anything that could do with that.
I crit with double nines.
Nice. Clear a stress, gain a
So
hope.
18 plus 1 is 19.
Nice.
18 plus 1,
Nice.
19. Dang.
Oh my goodness.
14 with hope.
Boy.
14 with hope, take your hope.
Great. That is 7. So it's instinct, right?
Yep.
7. That's 17 with fear plus a 2 makes it a 19 with fear.
19 with fear, okay.
Yeah,
It makes
you're just gonna
sense with
keep
what
hoarding
happened.
Fear from me. That's a.
You
Have you
haven't.
gotten a roll with hope yet?
I think I have like earlier.
Yeah, I think you've gotten like one hope roll with hope, I believe.
Just not.
Yeah.
Yeah, like one or two things
Like-
with hope in the beginning. Into this, it makes sense because she's such a baby Belle, y'all. She's...
I got a 13 with
In the
fear.
intro, when I said nobles and farmhands, Belle's not a farmhand,
Yeah.
but all right, 19 with hope. So we got, who haven't I gotten yet? Razz,
I got an 11 with fear.
11 with fear. Awesome. And what was yours again, Oriana?
I crit with a 19.
Right.
Nice.
Great. What was yours again? What was yours again, Very?
13 with fear.
Here. All right.
I don't think I've made a single hope roll.
Oh no.
Belle,
Oh no.
solidifying your nerve, pushing the question of how you made it to the bottom past you for a moment. You charge forward into the overcast wood before you. The canopy is tight and locked. Sun gets through, though it's more like patches, and so you are now cast into immediate dim light. You hear birds and beasts wandering around. It is a forest alive and well. You navigate through trying to find your way. You feel like you're doing a fairly good job when you emerge into a small opening. About 30 feet wide by 40 feet long. There's a small pool in the center. And you are about to step out into this clearing as you hear, as from the other side of the clearing, you just hear a low and deep growl.
Of
And then
course.
the
Of course.
as this large wolf lupine figure standing about 10 feet tall, 15 feet long, arcing wings coming off its shoulder blades that are speckled brown and black and white like a hawk's, goes down to the water and starts drinking. You tuck behind a tree, looking back, frozen with fear. It seems as if you found the Volwolf.
Great. Yay.
It sits, as it drinks, you see it kind of sits down, lays down on its front paws, its very tips of his paws just dipping in the water, and he lazily just drinks with as little effort as possible. Seemingly it has not noticed you yet.
Yay.
Oriana and Lo, my two other high rollers. You wander a different path, but a similar destination. The same, in fact. As you appear on the opposite, as Oriana, you appear on the opposite end of where Belle was, and Lo, you, having flown over, kind of appear from the third peak of this triangle. As you all stand unknowingly of each other, watching a giant woven creature in a moment of innocence, it seems, just taking a drink at the pond. Is there anything you three would like to do?
Are we aware that we're not aware that we're nearby each other? Or am I aware because of my arcane sense?
How close do you have to be for that?
I think it has to be close range.
Close. So they would be
I don't know if they're too
considered
far away.
far currently.
Okay, never mind then. Oh yeah, they're on the other side.
Would I know if this is the kind of animal, like just like an animal that I could talk to, potentially?
Make a knowledge. Yeah, make a knowledge check.
That is, well, it's a 9 with hope.
9? Oh, nice. Take your hope. You've studied a lot of creatures. You do not have a creature like this on Estos. You have a lot of scary creatures in that southeastern island, but none like this. As you analyze and look at it, nothing, and try to go through like the list of what you know typically determines some sort of sentience. You can't seem to sense anything. Yes, Belle?
So it hasn't seen me, but it's just like innocently lapping up the water. And I don't think there's anyone else around. I think under her breath she mutters, "So this is the troublemaker he referenced about." That, and then I think she is going to slowly approach this word because she is just curious beyond help, or if there's something that can be done to something that is
Kind of breaking up a
I'm
little
gonna
bit.
have
I don't know
to
if you can
have
hear us.
you repeat that because you turned into
did I break
a
up?
robot.
Oh no.
I apologize.
Oh no.
I heard you
Can you hear me
approach the
now?
creature.
We can hear you now. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm trying to approach the creature to see if it is beyond help or if there's something that can be done without violence to try and solve
Okay.
this problem. If it has to resort to violence,
Alright,
then
make-
so be it, and I will. That's my choice, but
Make an instinct check. Instinct roll. As you do this low, you arrive and kind of intake this, and before you can do too much, you see a light-haired, horned woman walking from across, exiting and walking towards the Volwolf from across the way. You also see this, Oriana. It's not hard to not see.
Yeah.
Yeah. If
got
possible.
it.
Oh, go ahead.
No,
okay.
I was going to say what
if-
Lo's going to, in squirrel form, go up to this creature, and I'm going to use nature's tongue to talk to it.
Okay.
The verbiage on nature's tongue is you can speak the language of the natural world. When you speak to plants and animals around you, make an instinct roll, DC 12. On a success, they'll give you information they know. On a roll with fear, their knowledge might be limited or come at a cost. Additionally, before this roll, while within a natural environment, this would, I can spend a hope to gain +2 to that roll. So that's what I'll do. So
Okay.
I'll spend the hope to get +2. I'm going to ask why it's so aggro, because that's essentially what the individual said they were. So I get +2 from instinct, and I get +2 from spending a hope. So I don't have to roll high. I just don't want to roll with fear.
Okay.
And sick.
So with what I rolled, because I didn't say it beforehand, but I would like to add disarming presence, which is my experience because of her trying to be social and kind of, put everyone's mind at ease. So I want to add that on top of it. And if I can, so I'll spend that hope. And if I can spend another hope with chef's touch, could I possibly have some sort of baked good or something that I have on my person that I could offer it to the wolf?
Then you didn't.
As a
you
treat,
never
'cause
ate that muffin.
I didn't eat that muffin. No, I didn't. So with chef's touch, so could I spend 2 hope to add those to my roll?
Absolutely.
Okay, so
Without a doubt.
we're gonna do some math here. So we have a 17 with fear, +2 is a 19, plus another 2 is a 21.
Okay.
Plus fear.
All right. So it's a success with fear. And what did you roll, Fern?
Yeah.
I got a 21 with fear.
21 with fear. Okay.
That's my first fear.
I have something for that.
Mhm.
So I have an ability called reassurance. So it says once per rest, after an ally attempts an action roll, but before the consequences take place, you can offer assistance or words of support. When you do, your ally can re-roll their dice.
Oh, hell yeah.
I guess the
Okay.
question is,
So which one of us?
Yeah.
which one of? Well, I wouldn't know. I don't know if she would know that Lo was there because they're a squirrel.
Squirrel. Yeah, never mind. Not me.
Yeah, I do have an ability to speak with animals, though.
True.
I don't know if that
So I guess the other
Three
Three
question
of us have
is,
nature's tongue.
Wait, what?
Do 3 of us have nature's tongue?
I
believe
don't know
so.
if
Probably.
mine was not an official thing. It's from the Heroic Chronicle
Yeah.
rolling.
Okay.
I heard
So
from
I
the
don't know.
Heroic Chronicle.
We haven't worked out the mechanics of it or anything. So I don't know if I would know if Lo is there or not.
And then I guess the other question is,
Yeah.
do you see Belle as an ally?
Or a threat,
I-
a competition.
I don't think that I would see her as a threat.
Okay.
And I did see her on the ship from.
It's true, you did.
And she just used her cutesy
Yeah.
I'm not a threat ability.
That's
Yeah.
true.
I did. I did.
And I
Look at me,
don't
I'm
want
adorable.
her to get eaten by a bird wolf thing. So I think I would see her as an ally in this
All right.
instance.
So how do you
Okay.
reassure?
I would probably also step out of hiding and just like give some I know a little bit about animals and nature and things, so just give some tips on how to approach, don't look it directly in the eye, that sort of thing, maybe quietly.
Okay. So you all
Lo
emerge.
is looking at
Look
it
it up.
directly in the eye right now.
Just eats a little giant squirrel.
He just flies and lands directly in the gap between his two eyes that dogs have.
Right there.
Okay, so we have multiple successes, both with fear. So we'll
I
start.
could change the fear into a hope, but that'd be two more stress, and I'm already at 2. So I'm like, no, I don't think.
We'll start
That's fine.
with Belle. As you
Uh-huh.
make your way out, kind of holding out the muffin,
Yeah.
you see the Volwolf instantly jumps up onto its full standing position and then kind of lowers down and lets out a low grumble in your direction.
It's okay.
Kind of shifts its shoulders. You can see its two wings kind of flutter out and shake before tucking back in. The creature, now that you're kind of a little bit closer, you can see its main body is fully wolf. Gray and white speckled hair that kind of grows into the brown and white speckles of the feathered wings that erupt directly out of his shoulder blades. Or not shoulder blades, out of his kind of elbows of his front legs.
Ooh.
It doesn't look as if he could fly. But glide, maybe? But also, you don't know. Maybe you can.
It and the flying
it
squirrel are similar.
Shifts down and grumbles, and you kind of caution it. You can fear that fear building up inside you because this creature is towering above you. He's about 15 feet away from you on the other side of a pool. He hasn't attacked you yet. Which you get to reroll that because of Oriana's
Oh yeah.
thing, right?
Yeah,
That was the whole point.
That was a 17 with the original roll, but I have the +2, so I have 6 that I get to add to this roll with everything. So we'll see if it's better. No, that's worse.
I tried.
I tried. So 9 plus 2 is 11, plus 2 is 13, plus 2 is 15. That's reroll.
Was it with hope or fear?
It was fear. Fear still.
Oh, no. Okay. Does it say that they have to use
Fear.
the new roll?
Do I have to?
It just says your ally can re-roll their dice. Doesn't
Okay.
say more than that.
But I
Can
used
reroll
it, so does it?
That's fair. I feel like if it's the can reroll,
I didn't know it was
Choose
can reroll.
it is a reroll.
yeah, if you choose to reroll, you take the reroll. So, you approach, and as Oriana steps out, you see the Volwolf instantly get more alert. Kind of his eyes dash over towards her and then back towards you, and they squint, the small amber beads just burning. And then squirrel into the face, which as you impact into the face of this Volwolf, it rears back and chucks you up, which causes you to lose balance a little bit, and you see he opens his jaw to snatch you out of the air, at which point you use your speak with animals ability to ask him what's going on. Kind of takes a step back and lets you land on the ground, and the two of you, well, actually, Oriana, I guess you would understand this because yours is kind of always active. Oriana, you hear,
"You little rodents won't leave me alone."
and you see a shift. And Lo, being so close, you can see that kind of tucked underneath one of his wings, he has burn marks that kind of spider out in a shock pattern across his stomach. Goes,
I've been in these woods or longer than any of you return.
And you hear crack from the wood edge. The wolf looks.
Did you lead them?
From the woods, you hear the slightest shimmer of some sort of magic effect. Shimmer and a flash of light. The bull wound falls to the side and kind of stumbles to the ground as there now is about a cantaloupe-sized hole singed and crackling through one of its side wings. And you just hear as spark and slide of kind of smoke of dust circles around, and you see this small, about half a foot long rabbit, ears pointed back into sharp points, tail tight and crackling like a thundercloud. And you just hear shoots out towards the Volwolf again. It manages to turn and thwack it away as you hear two more from the woods. Listen. The wolf lunges back and just bolts out of the clearing, trying to go through the woods to avoid the sparket that lights up and takes off after it. Two more come into the clearing where you three are. The prize of the test sits in front of you. They kind of lean back on their hind legs and lock on to all three of you, actually, including you, Lo. Kind of their ears twitch between the two tips of their ears. A little spark of completing a circuit. Looks towards both of you, look towards each other, and then dash back off into the woods.
Miss Cat Lady, or I don't know, what are your pronouns? What's your name?
She is fine. My name is Oriana. What's yours?
Oriana. Belle Marwood.
Nice to meet you. Are you all right?
Yeah, hold on. Did you understand what that creature said?
Oh, yes, I forget sometimes. It seems to be stressed by the little sparket things. I don't know why they would be attacking it, but that's probably why it's been causing trouble. I don't know how we would be able to help it, though, other than catching more of them and maybe depopulating them a bit. But that's what I gathered from what's going on. I don't know why they would be attacking it, though. That seems very odd.
Indeed. And that old man, is ending old? Or she just went to he's an old man.
Erdney looks...
Erdney.
Erdney.
Erdney. Okay.
He looks to be, he has white hair and a white beard, but he looks to be aesthetically in his about mid to late 30s.
Okay, so not old man, but has old man hair and aesthetics. Okay.
And also has been around for hundreds of years or something.
There is that. You do know. You do know that he's at least 200. He's at least 200 years old.
There we go. See, I was kind of right with the old man.
Yeah, I would classify him as old. Yes, I do believe.
I don't know about you, hon, but for me, or go home. I'm gonna figure out what's going on, and she's gonna try to follow where the wolf creature went. She wants to follow it. She wants to figure out this mystery, and it kind of goes. If she notices the flying squirrel is like, make sure that you don't get any more trouble. Pat, pat. It's gonna keep on walking. It's like, it's your
as
choice
soon as
whether you want
that
to follow
wolf
or not.
is gone, like Lo is bouncing from tree to tree and just chasing after this wolf.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
If Belle takes off, then Oriana's following her.
All right. 3 of you make
I'm
instinct
going after the
checks.
wolf.
Instinct is very useful. Instinct does a lot with this specific.
Is this to
Set of
like
skills.
follow, like
Yeah.
track, basically? Okay.
Essentially, yeah, to track. Perceive, sense, and navigate.
Okay.
14 with hope.
14 with hope. Nice.
I'm gonna
16
mark
with hope.
more stress. Add
16 with
a
hope. Nice. Oh no.
stress.
Oh, there we go.
And that's gonna be 8 plus 2 is 10, and then another 2 is 12. Oh no, hold on, wait, no, 8 plus 2 is sorry, math. 8 plus 2 is 10, and then 10 plus 2 is 12. So that's 12 with fear. Rolling a lot of fear, guys.
All right. All right.
At least the GM can't
I
take
keep
any
telling
more
you,
fear.
Bonus fear.
Means they need to start using it, I guess.
Ah.
No. No.
I don't.
I mean, that's what you're saying, right? That's the logic I'm understanding.
Spell, you charge off into the woods after the Volwolf.
Yeah.
And Lo, you do as well. And Belle, you keep up with Lo for a bit until you start losing momentum. The tracks get too twisted. It almost seems as if the Volwolf himself is trying to lose a tail, funnily enough. At this point, Oriana charges up behind you with her successful tracking instinct, kind of reassesses the situation, and you all charge forward after this Volwolf. In another part of the wood, 3 other characters are making their way. Hugrokk, you are surrounded by tall trees. It's temperate, warm, and there's a smell of kind of wet moss just lingering around the entirety. There's sounds you recognize, sounds you don't, creatures and insects and birds. And you've managed to find one of the only actual trails in the woods, or at least the first one that you've come across. 4 feet wide, fairly well maintained. It seems as if it's walked enough to keep a dirt path through. It twists and turns down a wandering path that eventually opens up into a small hollow of sorts. In this hollow, you see a towering sculpture. Slightly dilapidated on its side and crumbled, the features are a little eroded. But it seems to be a statue of a humanoid. Long hair billowing down her side, a woman laying on her side, head propped up, and eyes that are completely missing. It seems as if at one point there may have been something in those now hollow eyes. But this figure of this woman dressed in a simple, seemingly like chemise dress that just drifts down. Seems as if you've stumbled upon a statue that has long been lost to time, and its tower is about 20 feet above you and 40 feet long. Up towards the head, where she's leaning, where one arm is propping up the head. The other arm is down on the ground as if forming a small semicircle, and a chair or a bench has been carved into the inner side of her arm, creating almost like a small little amphitheater of sorts. The path goes into this amphitheater where it seems as if it's regularly been cleared and used and walked through, if not performed in. What do you do?
So I'm still in like the forest line.
Mm-hmm. You're
Not
still
out in
in
the
the
open yet?
forest. Yep, you're still in the forest. You kind of found this sequestered in a hidden hollow of the forest. The very tops of this statue kind of peek out from the top of the forest, but you are still fully in the forest.
Feeling a little tired. I'm gonna go sit down on the bench.
Okay. Roll a d20 for me.
Oh,
Just cuz.
16.
16. All right. I'm gonna spend 2 fear because I have them. I'm going to use those to shift some things around. As you sit on this bench, it's almost as if once you enter into the arms of this statue, you can feel the outside world dwindle a little bit. If you have a stress, you can remove it. If you don't have a stress, then you gain no benefit. But you swear as you sit there and the wind blows through the forest, the wind almost shifts around this statue. You can swear you could just barely hear the sound of a song before that sound is replaced by the heavy patter. Well, I guess not that heavy. Patter of footfalls. And from the top of the statue, you just see the sun-shined golden fur of a corgi just pop up.
Hello there. What are you doing up there?
Kind of hungers down and starts growling. And
Thinking
from
of-
behind you, you hear slight shimmer. Do you keep looking at the corgi, or do you check out the sound behind you?
If I hear something behind me, I'm going to immediately whip around.
All right. As you turn around, you hear as you turn and see the small form of a Sparket behind you, ears twitching, and then the of a corgi leaping from the top of a statue, trying to pounce onto said Sparket. As the Sparket and zips away back into the forest. The corgi now laying full limbs spread on its belly. Its fluffy white butt just facing you. Wearing nice leather armor, though. It's a little damaged.
Okay. Before I address the dog, did it look like the rabbit was moving in some kind of pattern or anything on the way out?
Ooh, okay. Make a... Make a knowledge roll, since that's used to analyze things. Which, as you ignore the dog for a moment and try to replay how the Sparket moved, you hear a voice coming from the direction the dog came from. What'd you roll?
I rolled triple ones
Triple ones?
That's a
because of the
crit.
advantage.
Oh, right. That's still a crit. You crit again.
Oh,
Amazing.
oh my god.
And you did,
Take a
actually.
picture of
So you've rolled both
That's
double
so
ones
good.
and double 12s.
It's not even snake.
that. Yeah.
Yes.
That's cool.
It was gonna
Okay.
happen.
That's so good.
Also gain a hope.
You also do gain a hope. The spark.
I am maxed out.
And you can clear that stress that you just got.
You do notice a pattern. It seems what you notice is not so much of a pattern as right before the Sparket bolted and avoided the dog, its thundercloud tail sparked and let loose a small burst of electric energy, and then you noticed it run north.
Gonna tuck that away and then slowly approach the corgi. Hey, little guy, you all right?
At which point you hear a voice coming from the other side of the statue, kind of catching up to Corgi.
You get that one? A little out of breath.
As you turn to see the 1'7", 1'3". What are you?
17 inches.
17 inches. So yeah, 1'5".
Yeah.
Moth form, red atlas moth wings, white hair of fairy, insectoid fairy, flutter down from atop the statue, apparently just talking to this dog.
Oh, making friends already, are we?
Who and what are you?
The name's Razz. Just like you. Here, hopefully. And who are you? Looking at this, in comparison, giant form.
For those that don't know, Hugrokk is 6'7".
Compared to my 1'5".
So Razz is literally a
Big
sixth.
boy.
A sixth of the size.
I am Hugrokk, and I did not mean to be rude. I have just not seen one of your kind before.
Well, it's all fine, really. You're welcome to look, and we'll do like a little like extra little twirl spin. Her dress fluttering up for a second.
Is this corgi yours?
His name is Roop. I can talk. Rupestris.
Noted. Nice to meet you. I have prey, and I'm gonna start walking off into the follow the rabbit.
At this point, I will have to use my wings a little bit to catch up, to keep pace at all. I believe that's actually our prey. Thank you very much, sir.
I believe I saw it
Find it.
first.
Barking command to Rue, which is one of his experiences. He's specifically trained with find it.
How convenient.
So as you, Hugrokk, as you step forward to hunt your prey, you hear a small, and the corgi just bounces ahead of you, diving into the bush. I need both Hugrokk and Rupestin to roll an instinct check. Rupestris to roll an instinct check and add any bonuses or experiences that you wish.
8 with fear.
8 with fear.
14 with hope.
14 with hope. All right. Hugrokk, you enter into the wood trying to track this Sparkit, but it's fast and light on its feet. So the tracks are minimal and many. Minimal in indentation, but many in the ones you find. And it seems to dash almost haphazardly around. Rue, on the other hand, seems to be trudging along just fine in a very determined direction. Nose to the ground, little tiny stub tail wiggling back and forth. He just trots past you as he goes.
Follow the dog.
All right. You follow the dog. Razz fluttering behind. You both make your way through the wood. Variedawnt. You, having not rolled well on your venture into the wood, find yourself surrounded.
That doesn't sound good.
As you stand in the middle of the wood, one Sparkit here, another here.
Oh.
4 Sparkits surround you, dashing left and right, trapping you almost in a cage of electricity.
Oh, what do I do here?
Every so often just hearing the
No.
Huh. Was not expecting that.
That was the second fear I spent.
That's fair. Do they seem like hostile towards me since they're like a raptor encircling me?
They have not attacked you yet.
Okay.
But they have made you very uncomfortable.
Okay.
And trapped. Like every time you try to take a step, they'll zip in front of your foot and you'll feel like the tingles from the tips of your boots.
Huh. Okay. Well, can I do something? Come on, scroll wheel.
I've also been fighting with scroll wheels today.
Yeah. Mine has been like super wonky like for a while now. Like sometimes I'll scroll down and it just shoots up. Why? Okay, what can I do here? Okay, that doesn't help. Location. Suspect creature. Huh. Okay, I
Mhm.
I don't know what to do after this point, but I want to try and use my grim psychometry
Okay.
while inspecting a creature, location, or an object within very close range. I can make a spell cast roll of 12. On a success, I mark a stress, have a vision of the most recent violence involving the target. Until I finish a rest, I have advantage on any action rolls. Oh, to recall lore about the creatures or
Okay.
things.
Nice.
So,
Yeah. So roll an
maybe
agility.
it'll help.
Roll agility because that is your spellcasting ability.
Right.
And so you get +2.
Can I get a 12?
It's got to be a 12.
Oh, Jesus. With the +2, I got a 12.
Nice. With fear or
With fear. I was just going
with
to ask, do you
fear?
get fear on a spellcast roll?
Yep. I get fear
Okay.
on. I get fear or hope on everything except reaction rolls.
Gotcha. Okay. Wasn't sure on that. Well, I'm generating a lot of fear for you, but it goes off.
Mm-hmm. So
I got
mark stress.
advantage. Oh, right. You're right.
And as you
stress,
try to step forward and get zapped back, and then kind of digging the tip of one of your rings into your finger and taking a little drop of blood, you kind of flick it into the air and it spreads. And you catch a vision of one of these sparkets in a dark tunnel. Dashing through this tunnel system, it emerges into a large hollow that has a bunch of other tunnels connecting to it. And you can see other sparkets dashing left and right. And in the center of this hollow, there is a large oval, along with some other boxes and trinkets, nuts, berries. Seems as if a treasure trove has been being collected. Which it stops at this treasure trove. Your vision kind of differs for a second, and then a flash, and it's out in the forest again, antagonizing the Volpel. And your vision comes back.
Okay. Interesting. What do I do with that? I think first, because I'm surrounded. Did I notice like were there any like loose gold in their little hollow?
Yep, there was loose gold and like trinkets. It seemed there were also like books and candelabras. It seems as if these little sparkets may also have been nabbing stuff from the academy.
Sure. Okay. Well, thanks to chat, I got a second handful of gold. I'm gonna use that. Just grab a handful and just like scatter it, and hopefully they'll pick it up and scurry away.
Nice. Yeah. Make a presence roll.
Presence. I have no modifier to that. Okay, yeah. Son of a bitch.
Oh no.
Okay. Well, that's another fear roll and 8 total.
8 total. Okay. Luckily, these things, while mischievous and fast, are still just rodents. So you cast out these shiny trinkets, and 2 of them chase after them, leaving only one kind of there watching you. It stops its rotation, looks at you. You see the crackle in its tail, kind of the spark between its ears, and it's going to I'm going to spend a fear that I just got, and I'm going to activate its pulse ability its ears vibrate and then start glowing and just. I need you to make a reaction roll, so I'm not going to gain any fear from this if you succeed, and you won't gain any hope from it either if you succeed with hope. But make a either agility reaction roll or a as agility. Make it an agility reaction roll.
That's fine. That's my good roll. Okay. Well, so 5, 6, 7.
7. Okay.
It's not great.
You try to jump back out of the way, but the spark is just too fast. It flanks you, and you just feel this electric stun hit you. You are, your hands are numb, and you cannot attack for one turn, or do any somatic. Well, there is no somatic components in Daggerheart. Right. Spells don't have somatic or verbal or anything like that, unless you flare them that way. But your hands are numb. You cannot make an attack action for one turn. At this point, where
no damage, I'm just like more or less stunned though.
Yeah, no damage, just stunned. At this point, another Sparky comes charging out of the undergrowth, seemingly, and just sprints right past you, heading north. A few seconds later, you see a yellow corgi trundling through the messy undergrowth and tries to pounce on the Sparket that stuns you. It doesn't avoid it with a natural 1 from me. So the DM a lot of times doesn't roll duality dice; they roll a d20 instead. Unless it's NPCs. Creatures use d20s. NPCs use duality dice. But I rolled a natural 1, so that's a critical fail. And the leap that was supposed to be for the Sparket that sprinted past you turns into a accidental pounce upon the one that stunned you. As a Sparket. And you just hear the heavy of this random yellow corgi that's appeared in front of you. Not shortly after, you see the form of a tall orcish fellow walk out, and not far behind him, you hear the fluttering of wings of a fae behind.
Which you would recognize the corgi.
Oh yeah, you do recognize the corgi as the corgi from the night before that did not quite like you at the fire.
Yeah. Am I still stunned in this moment, or has it worn off?
As Razz emerges from the forest, your hands kind of... You get the feeling back in your hands. The pins and needles go away.
Yep. Were the... Hugrokk? Is that right?
Who?
The
Hugrokk?
Vav, the wolf hawk.
No. Swolfie's character? Hugrokk?
Hugrokk.
Hugrokk. Okay. Would before that time wore off, would they have had a chance to capture the sprocket that was stunned?
Make a agility check.
You got this.
Are you trying to catch the...
no, because I imagine they're chasing after the rabbit.
I get you.
I'm stunned still. Would they, before I do anything, would they...
So the Sparket is still currently pinned under the corgi, under Rue, when everyone emerges.
Gotcha. Oh, I'll just come out of my stun like, well, You're a useful little creature, aren't you? Well, you're a useful little creature, aren't you? Good boy. I look around and see if our friends are showing up behind it.
Yep. The other two emerge
Oh.
from the back, and you see, Razz, as you emerge, you see Rue just trying to wrestle and keep a hold of the Sparket, and not doing the best, but managing currently.
Z, who's a good boy? I told you he could find it. Looking up at Hugrokk.
I'm not gonna get involved. I'm assuming the credit for capturing that one goes to you. Boy, am I thirsty.
Jokes.
Oh, it's my twin. Lovely to see you again.
I was muted. I'm an idiot.
Oh no! I thought you were just being very
Oh
stoic.
no!
Just the stoic.
No!
It's okay. It's gonna happen to all of us at least once. It happened to me at the very beginning of stream.
Yep.
So
Did
I
you want to
wouldn't
go
say
back to
anything? Yes, I wouldn't say anything to Razz, but I looked down at her for a second, and I asked if the other sprocket is still like knocked down.
Mhm. So two of the Sparkets ran away, chasing the gold. One sprinted past Variedawnt, and one got knocked down and is currently being kind of like mostly pinned by the corgi. So there's only one Sparket currently in the area.
Oh, I misunderstood. I thought the sprockets collided, and then they were just like, okay, understood.
Mhm.
I would like to just keep following the tracks of one of the ones that ran away.
Just the one we were actually following.
Yeah.
There's a. I'll let you all know. Like there's a whole herd of them in a little hovel up north. I was kind of surrounded by a bunch of them, and then they ran off.
What's a group of sprockets called? Is it a Rue, do you know? And I'll go and help Rue ascertain the sprocket.
All right. Make a agility check to try to, or finesse. Actually, do a finesse. Finesse is control.
That is a 9 with hope.
Can I don't know how exactly. Just try. I guess I want to lend aid. Spend hope.
Oh,
Give
you can spend a
advantage.
hope to help, actually.
Yeah.
At any point, you can spend a hope to help an action.
Oh, that's nice.
It's like we're
Yep.
kind
And
of friendly.
helping
So-
adds advantage, I believe, so a d6.
Yeah. We'll just try and help pin it down as you can like tie it up or whatever.
That's 15 then.
15. All right. That's cocked. That's natural 20.
Boo. Boo.
So as you both go up, you hear a small as Rue jumps back, a little singe mark on his chest, on the white of his chest. As you both pounce on this Sparket, zips down to the top of Variedawnt's head, leaps off, and kind of kicks off of Razz and charges forward into the wood, heading north the direction the other one did. At which point, you all hear see a flying squirrel fly through between you all into the woods again, and out from the tree line, a catfolk and an infernus emerge.
Ah. What the hell is this? Oh, hi, y'all.
Well, hello.
Hello.
I suppose we're bound to run into more people.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. So, are you here for little lightning thing, or are you going after the wolf hybrid?
Oh, the wolf's all yours, darling. Well, I'll stick with.
Okay. Um. Everybody else. Just looking at the rest of the group.
Which, as the
Oh.
party kind of awkwardly stands in the center of this forest, all having various interactions with its denizens, we are going to end stream here,
Aw.
as it is
Ah!
midnight here on the East
Aw!
Coast. Um,
Makes sense.
thank you all so much for joining us in this first chapter of the Fables of Atramen, technical difficulties and all. I'm ending the session with a whole bunch of fear that doesn't reset, so that's great. I get to just keep it for next time.
That's
and
why I was worried right there. All that fear. Oh yeah.
and next
was fine.
time, with the party at least together for now, we'll see if they decide to stick together or not. We will venture further into the entrance exam of Wyrmhold Academy and see if our party decides to each catch a sparket of their own, or pursue this other lead that some of them have gotten little inklings into. Thank you all so much for joining us. It has been, I had a lot of fun. Thank you guys all for playing with me and
Yay!
fuddling through a new system and a new stream setup and a whole bunch of things. I really appreciate it. Our stream will continue to grow and change as time goes on and we figure out more stuff. But I'm excited to see where this goes. Of course, go show all of our amazing players some love over on their socials. You can find them all by going to the Fable of Atramen Instagram and going into the cast highlight. Nice and easy for you all. So thank you all so much for joining us. We will see you in 2 weeks' time. So that is February, not February. That is March the 2nd.
Second?
The 1st.
March 2nd.
Where am I? Ah, yes,
No,
March the
first.
1st. My calendar was lying to me. March the
Right,
1st,
'cause
8 p.m.
it's-
Eastern Standard Time.
How did
It's Monday for you right now.
Yes. And keep an eye on our the Fables of Atramen social for any sort of updates and the like. And of course, take care of yourself. Have a wonderful night, and we will see you all next time. Bye, all.
Bye-bye.
Bye.